Good morning, YouTube. I know it's been a long time. It's time for another accessibility video. Because, yes, it is time for an accessibility video. Now, you're wondering, accessibility video? What device are you using? Why is the mic going to be different? Why is the audio quality going to be different? Good questions to everybody. And if you have more questions, feel free to post them in the comments down below. Today, I want to go over Google's latest device in the foldable market, comparatively to Samsung's latest foldable device in the foldable market. And I want to talk about some of the accessibility features that stock Android has versus the One UI skin over Android. First, I want to talk about something that I think will benefit from a lot of blind users. And this is not to be mean, rude, or any of that. I want to make this very clear. My channel, the videos you guys watch, they're not just stuff I have to do. It's things I want to do. It's accessibility technology that I want to discuss with you guys, that I want to bring to your attention. Because at the end of the day, accessibility is about inclusivity. Accessibility is about what works for people. And I want to put a firm stop to the debate of Apple versus Android. I'm going to make it very clear that Android is not for everybody. Apple is not for everybody. This video has been a long time coming. Yes, we're going to get into some of the differences of these two devices, and that's what this main video is going. That's what the main topic of this video is going to be. However, for those who are watching my videos, and for those who like the fact that I can hold a camera straight and look directly at the camera without any sort of issue whatsoever, and try to say that I'm not cut out for YouTube, those of you who think that, you guys can think what you want. It is personal belief. It is opinion. It is not fact. Something that runs in my family, specifically from my mother, and I'm going to put this out there. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Sorry for the language, but it is true. Now, I want to get into the topic of this video. I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there that this might be a little inappropriate. And I do sincerely apologize. I don't typically say that in these videos, and I want to sincerely apologize. For any background noise you may hear in this video, I'm trying to do my best to talk over that. Now, we're going to start by talking about the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, the device I'm currently using. Yes, the screen is roughly the same size. The internal screen, that is roughly the same size. The external cover screen is a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. But that's also because Samsung made their phone ultra thin. So they had to make it taller and narrower. Whereas Google made their foldable phone thicker, wider, more of a tablet size. A standard tablet that is relatively easy to use. And from a blind person's perspective with Google Talkback and how it functions, I'm pleased to say that for those who are looking for good Android devices, who primarily use Android, I highly recommend the Google Pixel. Any of the Google Pixel line. The standard Pixel 10 from the standard Pixel 10 to the 10 Pro, 10 Pro XL, and the 10 Pro Fold. And the 10 Pro Fold is the phone I'm using right now. Samsung's device is thin, doesn't have the battery capacity that this phone has. This phone has a 5,015 milliamp hours battery. Gets me through all day purposes just fine. I also want to mention that, again, as I said, this particular phone has stock Android. You may be asking yourself, what is stock Android? Stock Android is just Android. It's the base software that runs on every single Android phone anyone has ever used. Due to the simplicity of the software and the OS, and how these accessibility features are integrated, the Pixel line is the best phone for your money. Reasonably priced? Yeah. Their foldable phone, definitely cheaper than the Samsung Z Fold 7. Price differences. After tax, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is $1,800 versus the Galaxy Z Fold 7 at $2,000 for the base. Google has what's called the Tensor G5, which is Google's most powerful processor yet. I've used Android for years. Started with the Galaxy S8, which I've demonstrated before. I've used multiple different Galaxies, from the S8 to the A21 to the S20, the S24 Ultra, the S25, S25 Plus, S25 FE, S25 Edge, Z Flip 7, Z Flip 5, Z Fold 6, and Z Fold 7. Not much in quality has changed. Whereas Google devices, such as this Pixel 10 Pro Fold, have been extraordinarily great. My history with Google Pixel started with a Google Pixel 3 XL, then went to the Pixel 7, then went to the 7A, went to the 8A, then went to the 9 Pro, the 9A a few times, the 10 Pro XL, and now the 10 Pro Fold. I will say, the audio quality of the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is far superior to that of, say, the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL. I want to praise Google for getting their folding factor absolutely perfect. I have yet to find an issue with the device. Now, do I recommend cases for the foldable phones? Not really, because it makes the phone feel heavier, bulkier, more of a rectangle, to be honest with you. If you use the phone completely naked, it really feels nice. Pixel has introduced what's called Pixel Snap. Basically, if you have an iPhone and you know what the MagSafe is, that's basically what Pixel Snap is. Sorry if the camera keeps adjusting. I keep having to hold my phone one-handed, and with a foldable phone, it's difficult. But I also want to get into some of the more accessibility features that are coming to Android. So as iOS users know, they have a feature where they can double tap two fingers to stop and start and stop dictation. In Android 16 QPR2, that also is now a feature for Google Talkback users. Google Talkback users are also going to be getting some new voices through speech recognition and synthesis from Google, also known as Google TTS or Speech Services by Google, however you want to see it. Talkback will get some Braille improvements. I don't know what those are as of right now. Um, Google Gemini will be integrated deeply within the accessibility framework of the Android system. Some of the boot loop issues that are being found in the QPR2 are causing some issue with some devices, and others just simply not getting the update, such as my device. I wanted to come out here today to point these accessibility features out, but also say that if you want to use Android, be my guest. If you want to use iPhone, sure, go ahead. I'm not going to put my personal thoughts and opinions and judgments in this video. You use what you want. I use what I want. We call it good. If you do have further questions, feel free to comment down below. If you have any suggestions as to camera positioning, whether it's back camera, front camera for me, I'm more than happy to take it as a legally blind individual trying to build a YouTube thing. Because eventually, what my goal is I want to be able to do this full time and make money off of providing accessibility tools, both digitally and through things that I find to be helpful in the real world. I don't want my channel to be all about technology. Yes, a lot of the videos you see are about technology. But at the same time, understand that living as a legally blind individual does not solely revolve around technology. There's other ways me as a blind person can be independent. And I am independent. I had an unfortunate living situation that basically put me on my own. And very slowly, very, very slowly, and with more confidence every day, I'm figuring that out. I'm figuring out what works for me, what doesn't work, what things I can use to help me be more independent, and what things don't work. If you have questions about how I interact with, things like my phone or how I, do certain things, I'm more than happy to answer them. Put them in the comments, and I can eventually work out a Q&A. That's what they're called. I was about to say the wrong thing. I sincerely apologize. I feel that the success of me is not just based solely on YouTube. It's not solely based on what I do on a daily basis. It's based on the confidence that I have in myself to be able to do the things that I do on a daily basis. Something that my brother has brought to my attention, my older brother, yes, I have two older brothers. I want to apologize about cutting through. Hopefully it's not too bad in the recording, but if it is, I sincerely apologize. Something my brother said to me that I never thought I'd look back on and thank him for, and I very much do. One night, I was up in my room at my old house, or I was doing something. I don't remember what I was doing, but I was sitting there, and my brother and I were talking about me being blind. He said something that I look back on, and I don't have the words that can readily describe what happened. Because for years, I've been behind my blindness, so to speak. I've always been behind it, and I've always hated the fact that I've been blind. My brother posed something to me that made me rethink how I am. And this is a question to those of you who are legally blind, who are behind your blindness, or who, you feel that you hate being blind. I've been there. I understand where you're coming from. I really do. So I pose this question to everybody, whether you're blind or sighted, whether you're disabled or not. If you have a disability, always think of this question. Do you want to be behind it and always hating it? Or do you want to get ahead of it and be able to have the confidence to do what you do independently, even if you have a disability of some sort, whether it's blindness or something else? Keep that in mind as you go through life. Keep in mind as you go through your day to day about your whatever disability you may have, whether it's a minor disability or something major. Don't let your disability get the better of you. I've been there. I've lived that. It's not something that is a good idea. I wouldn't recommend it. Also, keep in mind that all disabilities are not the same. Prime example of this was one time I was at FedEx. I was working in one of the sortation bins that I particularly liked doing, and one of the office managers came up and told me that she had her own disability and that she tried to say that it was the exact same, that disabilities affected people the same way. And the honest reality is, it doesn't matter what disability you have, and it doesn't matter how it doesn't matter what other people say about your disability. If they have the same disability, if you guys share the same disabilities, they affect people differently. Blindness is a spectrum. Some people have more vision than others. Some people have no vision whatsoever. I'm in a really interesting position where I have vision in my right eye, but it's not usable, and nothing in my left. No vision in my left eye whatsoever. But I don't let that stop me from what I'm doing. I don't let that get in my way. I go to my doctor's appointments when I need to. I take care of the things I need to, and if I have to ask for help, that's what I do. You learn to ask for help when you need it, especially in unfamiliar areas. I hope this video finds I I hope this video finds you well, and that it sheds some light on some disabilities, maybe some biases that you had against those individuals who had disabilities or who judged them without knowing the story. My videos are meant to help people, and that's what I always strive to do. I want to provide those individuals the help that they never received, the confidence that they can do things on their own, whether they're sighted or blind. It doesn't matter the disability. Let yourself do whatever you want. The sky is the limit. Don't let your disability define you. Because the moment you let your disability define you, you can find yourself in a interesting situation. Keep what I said in mind as you go through your life. Keep what I said in mind as you think about those individuals who have disabilities, who may not be able to understand how to cope with it. Because living with a disability can be difficult. And sometimes it is. It is especially difficult in my case, especially when my vision decides to not work as intended. Thank you all for watching, and I sincerely hope you guys have a wonderful rest of y'all's day. And if you have any questions, concerns, or you want to have a genuine conversation, Feel free to put your questions in the comments, and I will be more than happy to answer them. See y'all later. Peace.